Kerala has always had a very interesting, different kind of engagement with languages other than its own. I believe there are two very important historical reasons behind it. One is that people from Kerala have always gone out of Kerala for employment reasons, whether it be to, say, neighboring states like Tamil Nadu or Andhra Pradesh or Karnataka, or even further to other parts of India like Bombay or Delhi or even Calcutta and other metropolitan places. These people were not only constrained but were open to the idea of learning another language because it was quite necessary, inevitable for their survival. And naturally, there came about a kind of openness in the attitude to other languages. Now, it's also interesting that along with people going to other parts of the country, uh, from quite a long time back, say from the 19th century on, we have had people from Kerala working in Ceylon, in Singapore, in Mumbai, in Malaya, uh, and all these foreign countries, and much closer to recent times, this huge outflow of people to the Middle East and other countries. Again, uh, due to quite economic reasons, these people had no other choice but to learn the local languages. So I think, historically speaking, there has been this openness to the possibility of learning other languages. Now, secondly, if we look at a longer term kind of uh, cultural historical context, Kerala has always received other languages uh, through people coming to Kerala in terms of migration and in terms of contact through the neighboring populations. We have had Sanskrit coming in, we have had Zulu language coming in, we had Tamil, of course, Kerala, Malayalam is actually come down from Tamil. But Kerala has received different languages at different points of time. And they've all, in one way or another, come to stay on in Kerala. In the case of Hindi, what you find is that during the independence struggle, especially due to the championship of Hindi by Gandhi and the establishment of the Dakshin Bharat Hindi Prajar Sabha, the learning of Hindi was seen not merely as the learning of a language, but also as part of participating in the nationalist struggle. The elder generation, my mother's generation, for instance, uh, took up Hindi in a very earnest manner, and that was outside of the school. And they learned Hindi, they passed the exams of the Hindi Prajar Sabha, and were able to actually read Hindi quite well, even though the spoken tongue was not so frequently used. And around that time, from the 1930s onwards, we find an interesting issue of translatory culture. Now, Kerala has always, again, had a very strong translation culture, starting from the translations of Sanskrit, forming the corpus of Malayalam literature from the very beginning. By the earlier part of 20th century, the advent of, say, modernity and other forms of, shall we say, opening up, along with English, two languages or literatures of two languages figured quite prominently in the translatory mode. That was Bengali and Hindi. And primarily, novels of Hindi and Bengali came to be translated into Malayalam, creating a stream of influence for the writers and the readers of Malayalam. So, in the case of Hindi, uh, unlike the experience of Tamil Nadu, Hindi was never seen as something that was imposed here. And that's also there. There was never any attempt to impose it here. It was received willingly, voluntarily, and it was seen as something that enriched the cultural transactions of Kerala in terms of literature, uh, in terms of the general understanding, in terms of knowledge systems, in terms of world views, etc. And so there never has been an antagonistic response to Hindi in Kerala, which meant that when the three language policy was introduced, there was hardly any, shall I say, hardly any um, mm, antipathy to it, and it was introduced with uh, acceptance. So, and Hindi came to figure largely and seriously in throughout the schools of Kerala. Now, another aspect that one could see in this reception of Hindi was the continuation of the earlier requirement for people to go out of Kerala in search of jobs, seeking employment elsewhere. So, what you find here in Kerala, in contradistinction to Tamil Nadu, is that due to ground realities, either that of the economy of employment or that of a cultural synergy, a cultural synthesis that has happened with languages that have been received in Kerala, uh, there has never been much antagonism to it, but rather a reception of Hindi as part of the system of becoming, a member of a nation, a unit of a nation. But interestingly enough, it should also be noted that when there were attempts to impose Hindi, uh, that is also met with resistance. For example, it is a popular story that when Mulayam Singh Yadav was a central minister and wrote to Chief Minister, the then Chief Minister E.K. Nayanar in Hindi and not in English, E.K. Nayanar promptly responded by writing a reply entirely in Malayalam. Now, what Mulayam Singh Yadav's response was at that time, one doesn't really know. All that one knows is that from then on, the letters turned into English. So, Kerala has accepted Hindi, but whenever there are attempts to actually impose Hindi, uh, as if it is something that is to be implemented from above, there have probably been quite strong responses to it.